Hello guys, it is Vulcanlord here, and I am bringing you part 1 of a 3-part series of a complete beginner's guide to the forest. So this being part 1, as you can probably tell by the title, is how to get a good camp set up, a good shelter. So there are a couple of purposes that shelter will serve in this game. The first of which is you'll be able to sleep, and that basically will allow you to regain energy, and you'll be able to save at your shelter so that you don't lose your progress. And the third thing that shelters do is they'll help to both hide and protect you from cannibals. So before we even get into talking about shelters though, there are a few basic things that you have to do right when you get off, or that you want to do rather, right when you get off the plane. The first thing is you'll see these suitcases laying around the ground. You're just going to want to smash these suitcases open and take the contents that are inside, because it's basically going to be like free food, free cloth, things that would take time and effort to work for later on in the game that you're basically being handed early game that can actually save your life in the future. Because sometimes gathering food can be difficult depending on the area you're in, because sometimes animals just don't really spawn in that area. So you'll be happy to have a couple of candy bars from these. Yeah, I can't actually gain anything from killing that, but meh. So yeah, you're just gonna want to chop those suitcases open, see what you can find in the general area. You're gonna want to get some sticks. So if you see these little trees like this, just smash them down with the axe. Gather the sticks with the E button. The E key, rather. Now, I've already got 10 sticks, so I can't hold any more right now. So I'm gonna go look for a good place for a shelter. As with shelters for good locations, you're gonna probably want to look for something that's fairly defendable. Maybe consider building near the coast. Definitely do not build in dense forests. Like, don't build in the middle of the forest, because then there's both nowhere to really run to, and also a lot of them, the cannibals that is, will spawn in the forests. They'll have camps and things. So I think I've found a good spot. I'm gonna build out on this ridge as far out as I can get. And then I'm going to build walls to kind of block that area off, because last I checked, cannibals can't really swim, which may or may not still be true at this time, or at least at the time of you watching this video. So don't quote me on that, but I don't think they'll be able to walk up the side of that mountain, well, not mountain, that hill, so either way it'll be safe. So yeah, just chop a couple of trees down, and then just grab a couple of logs when the tree stops moving. Okay, cool. Okay, there were a lot of logs from this one, so I'm just gonna bring these logs over to here. Drop those there. And I'm just going to go gather the rest of these logs. Now, I'm going to pause the recording, and then I'll come back when I've got a few more resources, and I'll show you how to build your first base. Okay guys, so I've got a few more logs now, and I'm going to show you guys how the building system works. So, what you're going to want to do is, if you press B, it'll open this menu here. This is kind of like your survival book, I think they call it. So there's just some survival information right here. You can just read through it, you know. There's how to get some basic resources. Then there's a fire tab. Now the first thing I want to talk about is fire. So fire is going to do 3 things for you, alright? The first thing is it's going to obviously provide light at nighttime. It'll allow you to see. The second thing is you'll be able to cook food. And the third thing is, depending on how many cannibals there are, it'll sometimes keep cannibals away from your camp. Like, if you have a bunch of really big fires and there are only a couple of cannibals, they probably won't go into your camp, so you'll be safe. And then they might come back with more in a little while, but you'll be safe for that time. And the next thing is the shelters. So a temporary shelter, basically you'll just be able to save and sleep there. Same with the hunting shelter. Log cabin is you can walk inside of it and stuff, and you can drop some items on the inside. A small cabin, which is what I'm going to build now just to demonstrate how to build, is just a small version of the log cabin, so you can get inside, but it's not very big. And then the tree houses are my personal favorite kinds of shelters, because as you can see, they don't really require a whole lot of resources, and they get you up above the ground, and it's really hard for the cannibals to get up them. I don't even think they can get up them at this current build in the game, so they're very safe. It's just when you get a lot of the cannibals, they can become a threat then. But I'm just going to show you the building system works. So if you click on something you want to build, like now I have this small cabin and it's showing, you can rotate it by holding R. And I'm just going to put it over here, right like this. I want my door to face away from the ocean. So I'm going to press E there, and now it says gather logs. So if I come over to my log pile here, and I carry some logs over, you can just press E on the structure, and it'll start adding the logs in. So I think I'll probably fast forward this bit or skip it or something, but I'll see you guys in a minute when this is done. Okay guys, so now that I've built this shelter, I'm just going to show you how this shelter works. So you can just walk through this door, and you just have to kind of walk past it, and it'll kind of swing. Now you see there, it says C and Z. So C will save. It'll just give me a black screen for a minute, and it saves the game. And if I hit Z, I'll sleep. That'll give me a black screen, and then now you see the time changed. So that's how you use your shelter. I'm sorry about the lag spike right there. I occasionally do get some frame drops on this game, so I'm sorry for any frame drops that have occurred during this filming. But yeah, so the last thing I just want to show you guys quick is fire. So I'm just going to build a simple fire up here by my house. I'm just going to throw all these resources in here. We're going to light this fire. Now this is going to keep it'll keep the cannibals away. As you can see now, I have light. So that'll keep some cannibals away. If you want to build effigies, those will really keep cannibals away for a while. As on this page, you just need basically like sticks, rocks, and parts of cannibals, which I'll cover how to get parts of cannibals in the third part of this series, which will be the combat part. So those are the basics of how to get shelter in this game. You'll be able to build things like walls and things like that, of that nature. If you look in the custom buildings tab, there are all these different kinds of walls that you can build. They'll just work like that, and then you fill them in with logs, and they'll protect you for a while. But they'll bring wall breakers eventually, though, and those will bust your walls down. So be careful of that. So that's all you really need to know as far as base building goes. You can build some storage units to store all your resources. So with that, I wish you guys the best of luck with building yourself a base in the forest. And I'll see you guys hopefully in the next part of this video. Peace.